Hello again. I posted MVI 7419. Obama must be really pissed. And that's because the president of Kenya, Obama's homeland, isn't inclined to change his views on homosexuality. I want to thank one of my viewers for sending me what he did. It's somewhat lengthy. I hope you take the time to listen to it, as I took the time to obviously read it. He wrote, "Gabe, I found this to be interesting study, and your comments about Ebony and Ivory's views on homosexuality got me to thinking you might be interested in this as well. In order to read the entire article, you must use the link at the bottom. I'll attach both links, this particular link and the link that's at the bottom. Excerpted from OT Today, 8 major studies of identical twins in Australia, the US, and Scandinavia during the last 2 decades all arrived at the same conclusion: gays were not born that way. Quote, "At best, genetics is a minor factor," end of quote, says Dr. Neil Whitehead, PhD. Whitehead worked for the New Zealand government as a scientific researcher for 24 years, then spent 4 years working for the United Nations and International Atomic Energy Agency. Most recently, he serves as a consultant to Japanese universities about the effects of radiation exposure. His PhD is in biochemistry and statistics. Identical twins have the same genes or DNA. They are nurtured in equal parental conditions. If homosexuality is caused by genetics or prenatal conditions and one twin is gay, the co-twin should also be gay. Quote, "Because they have identical DNA, it ought to be 100%, end of quote," Dr. Whitehead notes. But the studies reveal something else. Quote, "If an identical twin has same-sex attraction, the chances the co-twin has it are about 11% for men and 14% for women," end of quote. Because identical twins are always genetically identical, homosexuality cannot be genetically dictated. No one is born gay, he notes. The predominant thing that creates homosexuality in one identical twin and not in the other have to be post-birth factors. The predominant thing that creates homosexuality in one twin and not in the other, once again, have to be post-birth factors. Dr. Whitehead believes same-sex attraction, SSA, is caused by non-shared factors, things happening to one twin but not the other, or a personal response to an event by one of the twins and not the other. For example, one twin might have exposure to pornography or sexual abuse and not the other. One twin may interpret and respond to their family or classroom environment differently than the other. These individual and idiosyncratic responses to random events and to common environmental factors predominate, he says. The very large, reliable study of identical twins was conducted in Australia in 1991, followed by a large U.S. study about 1997. Then Australia and the U.S. conducted more twin studies in 2000, followed by several studies in Scandinavia, according to Dr. Whitehead. Twin registers are the foundation of modern twin studies. They are now very large and exist in many countries. A gigantic European twin register with a projected 600,000 members is being organized, but one of the largest in use is in Australia, with more than 25,000 twins on the books. A significant twin study among adolescents shows an even weaker genetic correlation. In 2002, Behrman and Bruckner studied tens of thousands of adolescent studies in the U.S. The same-sex attraction coordinates between identical twins was only 7.7% for males and 5.3 for females, lower than 11 and 14% in the Australian study by Bailey et al. Conducted in 2000. In the identical twin studies, Dr. Whitehead had been struck by how fluid and changeable sexual identity can be. Neutral academic surveys show there is substantial change. About half of the homosexual bisexual population in a non-therapeutic environment moves towards heterosexuality over a lifetime. About 3% of the present heterosexual population once firmly believed themselves to be homosexual or bisexual. Sexual orientation is not set in concrete, he notes. Even more remarkable, most of the changes occur without counseling or therapy. These changes are not therapeutically induced, but happen naturally in life. Some very quickly, Dr. Whitehead observes. Most changes in sexual orientation are towards exclusive heterosexuality. Number of people who have changed towards exclusive heterosexuality are greater than current numbers of bisexual homosexuals combined. In other words, ex-gays outnumber actual gays. Keep reading. And again, I'll attach the link. Now, what do we know about Barack Hussein Obama? Well, we know that he was born in Kenya, and we know that his mother, Ann Dunham, moved to Indonesia with her new husband, Sotero. And we also know from what we've been able to read and ascertain that when Obama was a young lad, his nanny was a transsexual. And as I've stated in numerous previous videos, I believe that Obama, being the cute little boy that he was molested over and over and over again by his teachers in Indonesia. That's why he is the way he is. And that's why it's so dangerous to allow Boy Scouts to have gays among their ranks. But that's a different story. Read the attached link. You're going to find it to be most interesting. And I'm a firm believer, as stated in this particular video, gays are not born that way. They're products of their environments. Looks like I'm not the only one that believes that. I told you what I think. I told you what these studies conclude. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening.